Hello, this is meteorologist Tyler Hextall with this evening's update. And first system we are currently tracking is a very powerful storm system beginning to move into the Pacific Northwest. This storm system is pulling in some energy from the remnants of Typhoon Sonda, which impacted portions of the western Pacific earlier in the week. But as the storm begins to move inland to the Pacific Northwest, we are beginning to see some heavy rain and also some very strong gusty winds push inland. Now, taking a closer look at the wind gusts that have been moving inland, you can see that the higher red and orange colors are indicating the strongest winds are remaining offshore and confined to mainly the coastal areas. However, some winds are also making it down into the valley regions across Portland, Seattle, and also up to near the Canadian border. So strong gusty winds are occurring over a great portion of the Pacific Northwest right now. And this will continue through the overnight hours as we continue to see this low pressure and the strong winds out ahead of it begin to move up along the coast. So this evening, Portland's currently experiencing some strong gusty winds, and also we're getting some reports along coastal Oregon where winds are gusting up to over 60 miles per hour. But this will begin spreading further north overnight into Seattle and then eventually towards the Canadian border. So be on the lookout for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as the system continues to move inland. Additionally, as this cold front depicted over here on our map continues to push towards the east, we will continue to see some of these blue, orange, and green colors move onshore. Now, what these colors indicate is some instability aloft, and this instability aloft will trigger some thunderstorms during the overnight hours and even through this evening across western Oregon and across western Washington. Now, some of these storms that could develop once this instability moves over could become severe, and given the strong winds aloft, some of these storms could produce some very damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and also some isolated tornadoes. And then given the cold air aloft as well, some small hail cannot be ruled out as well. So be on the lookout for this evening, and if you do not have my alerts signed up, please go ahead and do that on our website, where we will notify you of any impending severe weather. And as we head into the evening and overnight hours across the west, we'll continue to see this front work its way inland. However, the strong winds will continue to be impactful across a good portion from northern California all the way into western Washington towards the Canadian border. So places such as Reno, Nevada, Carson City, Medford, Portland, Seattle, you all would need to be on the lookout for some gusty, damaging winds tonight of a greater than 60 miles per hour. Now, the good news is that this is a very warm system, so we're seeing a lot of warm air come in out ahead of this, which is helping to keep snow levels very high. So across the Cascades, we're not expecting much in the way of snowfall. However, where the mountains are a little higher down the Sierra Nevada, we could see some snow accumulation about 8,000 feet of up to 2 to maybe even 4 inches in some areas, and maybe some locally heavier amounts greater than 4 inches as well. But the good news is that this will not be a very impactful storm for most roadways around here. So travel will be slow going in some areas, but good in most areas. And heading into the nation's midsection, we are currently tracking a disturbance moving across this region that has been ejected from the Rockies. Now, there's an area of high pressure situated over the northeast right now, which is delivering some very pleasant fall-like weather there, some seasonably cool temperatures, which I'm sure many of you are enjoying for the time being. However, on the edge of this high pressure, there is some moisture beginning to track in from the Gulf, which is helping to trigger some thunderstorms across Florida. But then also some of this warm air and moisture is going to be tracking in over the lower Midwest and Great Lakes region tonight. And some of this warm and moist air aloft will trigger some showers and a few thunderstorms. Now, the good news is that the dynamics in place do not support much in the way of severe thunderstorms across the Midwest. However, again, some of these storms could produce some frequent lightning strikes, some heavy downpours, and also some gusty winds. And most of this thunderstorm activity should develop along some of this cloud cover you're seeing track in here, which is an indication of where the strongest moisture is as well. And heading into the southeast right now, we do have a disturbance aloft moving through here, kind of around this area of high pressure that's dominating the weather to the northeast. But again, with the excess moisture and warm air, we've been seeing some thunderstorms that have been triggered throughout the day around here. And the main threats of these storms are just some heavy downpours and maybe a gusty wind. So be mindful of that. And across Texas today, in between all of these systems, you guys have enjoyed some seasonally warm temperatures, and I would expect much of the same here tomorrow. So definitely enjoy this October warm spell while you can. And I'm Tyler Hextall with today's evening update, and I hope you have a great weekend.